Hello, and welcome to the basement. For a variety of reasons, many of which I can't talk about, things have not been going well lately. They really haven't. And I've had a very hard time focusing on much of anything. Part of it is I've been sick. Was it a cold? Was it COVID? Was it something else? I don't know. But it certainly has not helped anything at all. I am slowly recovering. One worrisome thing in all this was my ears got so clogged up that I could barely hear. Anyway, just one of the many things. So, one thing I have found, and we all have our issues, and that is that if I do something that I consider to be, well, how do I put this? I guess I'm not good at dealing with things that I do that I would deem to be stupid. So, when things like that happen, that often puts me off and leaves whatever project I'm working on kind of stuck. So, that includes some of the pets I was working on upstairs, and the stove, which had a bad element. And because I managed to ruin one of the connectors that the element should connect to, it's been months since I have attacked this, and even though I have the crimping thing, I have the thing, like the ends, I should be able to fix it, I just haven't. So I really need to focus and not let these things get to me so bad. Anyway, today I will venture to the driveway because there is a car that is no longer viable and it needs to go. But there are things that need to be taken out of the car and things that need to be done before it can be dragged away. And I keep on thinking about doing them, but I don't do them. So today, I don't know if I'm going to get it finished, but I'm certainly going to get started. And one of the things I'm going to use to get started on all of this is some of those fabric shopping bags. And because the stuff in the car is not mine. And there doesn't seem to be much movement by the person who should go through the car to go through the car, but the car got to go. So I will fill bags. And the other thing I will do is there'll be some stuff I find in there that I just deem as expendable. So I suspect there'll be some stuff that ends up in the recycle bin. And there's other stuff I keep looking at and I'm wondering. Like there are these, I guess they're vases or something or other. And it reminds me of back at my days at Lawrence Park Collegiate Institute when the head secretary there, Mary Alford, who I knew quite well, I grew up around the corner from where they lived, and they had three kids, and we had 3 kids, and we played together and hang out together. Anyway, so the story is that at some point she was in some store, I think kind of like a Dollarama before there was Dollarama, and she saw these little flower vase things, and her one daughter was with her, and she saw these things, and they thought that, well, it'd be perfect for the school, because the school colors were gold and blue, and these things had these gold bands around, and I don't remember them specifically. But anyway, and here they are in the back of this place, and they're looking kind of dusty and whatever, but Mary decided, oh, I got to get these. So she had to get something to put them in or something. So she said to her daughter, she said, Susan, watch over these, make sure nobody takes them. To which Susan replied, Mom, who would want them? Anyway, it's funny because one time when they were getting ready for something or another, they were putting these little things, they were putting flowers in them or doing something, and I was sitting in the office, towards the back of the office, and they were doing this, and somebody knocked one over, which then, people try and grab, and then knocks another one over, and nothing broke. But I just sat there watching basically the dominoes fall, and the 3 or 4 people who were doing everything they could to make sure that nothing fell and nothing got broken, even though everything fell, but nothing got broken. And anyway, once it kind of the dust had settled and it was calm, I just said, I thought about getting over and trying to help, but I don't think there was anything I could do. Anyway, everybody had a good laugh, and they righted the ship and got things sorted, and I think they were fake flowers going into them anyway. So anyway, no harm, no foul, just the dominoes were falling, and the hilarity was endless. And that is how it should be when working in education. The moments where things don't necessarily go perfectly should be learning opportunities, because after that, I remember Mary came up with a better way of getting these things. Actually, I think it was take them to the whatever, and then put the cut flowers or fake flowers or whatever in, instead of trying to put them in and then walk them down. So a learning opportunity. Can you imagine? Anyway, there are so many people who do not learn from their mistakes. And I am one who, I don't make tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of mistakes, but I always try and learn from them. But I do have this hard time when I do something that I deem to be, just looking back on it, kind of stupid. That kind of throws me. But I need to get better at that. So, today, I'm going to grab some of the small-sized fabric bags that have replaced the plastic bags, and I will go out to the car, and I will methodically start at the front and work to the back. And these vases, or whatever they are, that I don't understand, and they're quite big and quite bulky and probably fragile. And as I say, kind of like as what Mary's daughter says, well, who would want them? So I'm not just sure where they will land or what will become of them. But because this task is being left to me, even though it really isn't my stuff to sort out, I'm not sure they're going to survive. That doesn't mean I'm going to throw them away or smash them or anything, but maybe I'll put them up online and look for somebody else who thinks that they're wonderful, even though they're not. Sort of like that song, She Ain't Pretty, She Just Looks That Way. Anyway, besides that, I will look for other things, and then I suspect anything that's truly not worthy of keeping won't be kept. So I will have a recycle bin handy. Anyway, that stuff will be brought in, and it will be left in a spot where it should be sorted. But of course, it won't be sorted. And then eventually, I'll probably have to go through it again and turf it. But the vases, I'm just not so sure about. I don't know if they're going to even make it in. I just don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, perhaps I will set up a camera outside and do a time lapse of this excavation. Perhaps, because I don't think I have the energy to speak while I'm going through this. I don't think so. Anyway, this will be a good momentum builder. Because as I say, I have much to do. And since, probably about, let me think about this. Probably about September the 9th, I have found accomplishing much of anything very, very difficult. And very shortly after that, I got this horrible sickness, which has left me very depleted, very tired. And so probably that, I'm not sure how many days that kicked in, but probably for about a week after the 9th, I was just in stunned shock, disbelief, bewildered, hurt, and just in like a state of, it's hard to even put words, just a numbed state of stunned disbelief and shock, and really almost immobilized by the foolishness of others. And then just as I was starting to come out from under the dark cloud of all of this, the coughing, the sneezing, the headaches, the ears being clogged to where I would put things at 100% and still have a hard time hearing. And it's not over. I keep juicing myself up on cold medication and waiting for the next round of terrible coughing to appear, which I guess maybe I'm getting a little better. Maybe, possibly, maybe. Anyway, so doing this video is also, as they say, every journey starts with but the smallest first step. So recording this is helpful. It's a small step towards getting outside and starting to empty this car. That is my trusted mechanic, who we grew up not far from each other, has said it's not safe. It's not going to be safe. It's just not worth putting any more in. That's, rust is the enemy. So, and it doesn't look rusty, but it's underneath where the things that hold the car together are, that the rust has infiltrated. So it's got to go. Anyway, stay tuned. Maybe there'll be a time lapse later when I go outside and start with a bunch of those small size shopping bags. Because see, when you have a bag, say you have a great big garbage bag and you fill it with about 100 pounds worth of stuff, first of all, it's going to rip. It can't be moved, and it's a disaster. So I'm going to start with some of the small sized bags that can be got. I guess the ones mostly I have are either no frills. Maybe there's the odd Walmart one, but I don't go to Walmart much. Dollarama, but usually I get the big ones because they're really, really good. And there might be some Shoppers Drug Mart ones in there. Anyway, do I have too many of them? Of course. I have too much of most everything that I have. So I think I will look for the little ones. I'll start with them, and I'll get a start and see what's what. And chances are, as I say, there'll be some things that are in the car that I won't bring in, and they'll just go away. Not in the car when it gets taken or dragged or whatever away, but some things, I always like the expression, some things just got to be broke. Well, I'm not going to break them, but, I'm trying to get decluttered, so bringing more stuff in, which has already happened, is not helpful in the decluttering process. So I'm not going to bring things in just so they can go back out. I'm not. Anyway, all right, it is time to gather the keys, gather my stuff, gather things, and go out and build some momentum. So thanks for coming. Thanks for dropping in. We'll see you again. David Bradley, signing off. Bye for now.